Hello, dear judges, a warm welcome. I'm Gian. Coffee to me is not only something delicious to drink, but is also a link able to connect people from all over the world. I'm a barista and a brewers, but I consider myself also a mediator and a storyteller, because my job is not only make and serve great coffee, but it's also interact with my guests and share with them my biggest passion. I will prepare everything on stage because I want you to be part of the process, as the people that are joining me every day at the Chapter 1, the coffee place where I work, are part of my daily routine. I will heat up my tools to avoid any loss of temperature. And I will start pre-wetting my filter papers with 100 grams of water at a temperature of 94 degrees to clean any possible taste and to open the structure of the paper to have more clarity in my brew. Automatically, I'm warming up the range servers, and after that, your cups. I decided to use the Ario V60 ceramic dripper because it's able to keep constant temperature, and also the conical shape of the dripper with a single ample hole on its bottom allows me to control the speed during the brewing process. The result, it's a much gentle and clear extraction. The V60 gives me elegance and clarity, and I attain a very bright and juicy acidity. The final cup will be consistent, sweet and balanced. Now I will grind my beans on stage to have more intensity in aroma, a stronger flavor, and to increase the viscosity of the body. I'll be back in a second. Now, I'd like to introduce you the key player of my performance, my coffee. I spent the last month searching for the right coffee to present here today. Asking myself if I have to choose something fancy, something with an exotic processing, and which roastery. There has been all those question marks in my head, and honestly also a moment of desperation. Which coffee shall I take to be able to represent what is fascinating me in a cup of coffee, reflecting in a single one that I'm gonna present you today? Every bean has a story to tell, and every barista has his own way to brew. Together, they interact. And today, I wanna tell you our story. So, I was away not so long. Everything began during a blind cupping. I tried these unknown cups, and I thought, okay, that's a Kenyan. It was so fruity with high acidity, and it was a very, very, very clean cup. Can you imagine my surprise when I discovered it was a Congo? It fooled myself and my convincent, because I never tried coffee from Congo, and it was so juicy and amazing that in that moment I decided I want to go for this coffee. Because, dear judges, I love being surprised, and this guy made my day. The beans come from the North Kivu, an area that is a reserve area that is located in the northeast of Congo, and it's an area that is dedicated to preserve the flora and the fauna biodiversity. And it's also an area with a very fertile soil. that is perfect to cultivate coffee. Grow at an altitude between 1,500 and 1,800 meters above sea level. Harvested in July 2017. It's a Bourbon, a variety that stands out for its sweetness. And it's a full wash process with 24 hours fermentation. And after that, it's sun dry on African beds and shaded in the hottest part of the day. The result of these steps are a perfect balancing between sweetness and acidity. This delicious guy, it's a filter light roast, terminates shortly after the first crack at a color rate of under 24, development of 20%, and it's roasted only 6 days ago. I chose this timing and this roasting profile because it presents a very complex cup that is sweet, fruity, and mouth-watering all at the same time. My recipe is 15 grams of coffee for 250 milliliters that result in 230 milliliters in the final brew. I start with a pre-infusion of 30 seconds with 35 grams of water to release as much CO2 as possible in order to enhance the natural acidity of my coffee. After that, I'm pouring on the center at a constant level of 3 centimeters below the edge of the V60 to have less turbulence and more consistency. I design as well the water to have a better aroma and a longer aftertaste. The water has a total hardness of 7 pH, carbonate hardness of 4 DH, and it's higher in calcium and sulfate to have a better sweetness when the coffee is cooling down. The water is set on 94 degrees. That means 93 degrees in the brewing temperature. At this temperature, I'm sure all the solids are washed out and I can extract the desired flavor as much as possible. And I'm sure stability in temperature using 2 filled up kettles, and I'm using 2 at the same time to be able to serve 3 coffees simultaneously. While I'll prepare the cups for you, I'd like to explain you the complexity of this amazing Congo. In the aroma, you will find caramel, floral note, and hints of blackberry. In the flavor, when it's hot, you will find rose hips, red apple, and cranberries. And when it cools down, it turns more in hibiscus, cranberries, and yellow plum. The aftertaste is long and pleasant, with light tannins, like fresh cranberries. The acidity is high, like the acidity you can find in a yellow plum. And it's very juicy when it's hot, and crispy and bright when it cools down. My coffee has a light candy-like body that is very smooth when it's hot and silky when it cools down. Now, dear judges, I like to change your evaluation protocol, but just a little bit. After you evaluate the aroma, please drink straight for the cup, as you normally do when you're enjoying brewing coffee. Enjoy. 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 Thank you very much for your attention. Time.
Gian Zaniol, 10 minuti spaccati. Oh,